the draw to Mixon. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
snacks.
I was just going to say. That's where I go.
This is Bell. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
Watching that, Barney!
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And able to push. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
To play running back in today's NFL, you need to be versatile, and that really defines Le'Veon Bell because if you hand it to him, he won't turn it down. 321 carries in 2017. And then if you want to throw it to him, well, they targeted him 106 times last season as well, which was 2nd in running backs only to Christian McCaffrey. So Le'Veon Bell is a defensive nightmare when you try to figure out where he's going to be on the field to try to defend him.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Watching that, Barney!
The give is to Bell. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On second down, it's Bell. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays, and it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make the score 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he spins through. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back in not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Over the middle, complete. It's Little. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 52 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing, Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Little. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, once more, a strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 14-0 is our score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively, because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. First carry for James Conner. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 27.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle.
Here we go now.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Dumps it off to Mixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First and 10 for Dalton. Incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Dalton. Green with a catch left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The connection since 2011. Dalton to Green for a Bengal first down. Now Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Well, I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Another chance for Dalton. To Mixon on the check down. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Dalton. Throw left side complete. That's Little. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. But he will not make the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They start with a give to counter. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Baker Mayfield leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we take the short trip down to D.C. to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Alex Smith has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Chiefs. Leonard Fournette with 2 touchdown runs. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now a play fake here on first down. Forced out to his left. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Bell soap, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Boswell for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 28-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. With it is Brown. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
They'll run it now out of the gun as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Out to his left. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point now by Boswell. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
Play action here with Dalton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jonathan Bostic coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now Brown. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end of the half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to
Rudolph on 3rd down. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Hurry up. Here we go.
Again, it's Bell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
All right, here we go. 319. 319. Hot. Hot.
They'll go again with Bell. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 87 speed. 87. Over, 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 over. Hot.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Gun, gun. Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will extend this big lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
2nd down, Dalton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you know, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Here's Jordan Berry now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Little. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Dalton here from the gun. And Green with a catch left side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. To throw here, Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler 1st.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's Rudolph. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent, and how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them?